This Dogman sighting comes to our channel by email. The witness wants to remain anonymous, which is always okay with me. He says that this sighting happened in September of 2019. Now, not to give too much away about the witness, he said that he lives in Canton, North Carolina, saying that it was late, but him and his wife just wanted to get out of the house for a while. So they thought they would take a late ride on the parkway. That it was about midnight or so. That they had done this many times, saying that they both worked third shift, and that this time is more like their daytime hours to most other people. That they both had the night off, which doesn't happen that often, he said. So they thought they would just drive and maybe find a pullover and watch the stars. As they were driving through the mountains, they came to a pull-off and got out of the car. While watching the stars, they started to hear coyotes howling and yipping off in the distance. Now, by this time, it was about 3 a.m., and they thought that they better start heading home. After just a few miles heading home is when their sighting happened. A large buck had jumped out in front of them. The witness says that he slammed on his brakes and that they slid to a stop. This is when a large wolf, man-like thing, walked in front of their car. The witness said he was checking on his wife, making sure she was okay, when she looked up and screamed. He jumped and looked in the direction she was looking. He says he saw a creature that stood or towered over the car. He says that the creature had to be at least 7 to 8 feet tall, while having a massive upper body. He says that you could see the muscles working under its hair as it was moving. That this thing's head was slightly larger than it needed to be, at least compared to its body. The muzzle or snout was long. The creature, he said, had large canines as well. That they had to be 3.5 to 4 inches long. He said it had the biggest teeth he had ever seen on an animal, saying maybe he's never been as close to any other predator as he was to this thing. He says it finally got to the other side of the car. He says that the creature's legs were muscular as well, but they still seemed small for the rest of its body. Saying as he tries to picture it now, that the legs were strong looking and off in a way, more dog-like than human, he said. Now moving back to its head, the ears were standing up on its head like a German shepherd's or husky ears. He says that he was terrified at this point and that his wife was hollering, maybe screaming, that he was in kind of a daze at this moment, that everything just started to blend together. Maybe it was just the fear that was pouring over his body at the time, that this creature had scared him and his wife so bad he couldn't think straight and she couldn't stop crying and screaming. Once the creature had made it to the other side of the road, he noticed that it was a darker brown with hints of gray or silver in places. It finally made its way back into the woods. While he thinks he was still in shock from what he saw, he was just sitting there. Finally, his wife grabbed him and said, "Let's go." At this time, he says that he kind of snapped out of shock and started home, saying that his wife was still crying when they got home, that they spent the rest of the night talking about what had happened to them. His wife said that she didn't see that much, that she says that she saw a werewolf and that she covered her eyes, thinking that this thing was going to eat them. The witness says that he's sure that the creature was after the deer that jumped out in front of them, that they both crossed the road within seconds of each other, that this sighting felt like it lasted 10 to 20 minutes, but was probably 10 to 20 seconds. But that everything slowed down and that he could see everything about this creature in that time. I said, this sighting was sent to me by email, and if anyone else out there would like to share their sighting, please drop me an email at thoseendlessmysteries@outlook.com, and I'll try to get to your story as fast as I can. I hope you liked this sighting report, and thanks for watching Those Endless Mysteries. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can keep up with all of our newest videos. And again, thanks for watching Those Endless Mysteries.